Hello and welcome to India's Angels. I'm Shireen Bhan. If there's anything after entrepreneurship that is a test of instinct, risk-taking ability and patience, it is perhaps angel investing. Putting money on businesses that are just ideas or at best 8-slide PowerPoint presentations is about your gut and faith. So how does an angel investor spot a diamond in the rough? What gives them the courage to plunge into the deep end of the sea virtually without a life jacket? What makes an investor take the dive over and over again? This week on the show, we meet two men who've caught the bug. Google India's top man and angel, Rajan Anandan, and former Genpact CEO and angel investor, Pramod Bhasin.
Every company that I invest in is a company that I believe will be very, very successful, right? But at the end of the day, 1/3 of the companies that I invest in will not be successful. Of my very close friends at MIT and Stanford, very few did anything but entrepreneurship. They've been serial entrepreneurs for many years. So I'd say, the first set of investments were small amounts of money that I invested in very close friends who were starting up companies.
But being an angel has never been Rajan's day job. After studying engineering at MIT and Stanford, Rajan spent a decade moving up the ladder at McKinsey's Chicago offices. In 2003, he changed track to become executive assistant to Michael Dell and was shipped out to India in 2006 to manage Dell's business here. Since then, he's led the team at Microsoft India, and for the last 2 years, he's been heading Google's India operations. So given the workhouse that he keeps, it's no surprise that Rajan unflinchingly calls himself a mentor on call.
So look, the way I look at my role as an angel investor is first, whether I'm leading an investment or I'm part of a group, right? If I'm leading an investment, then I'm completely on call from day one. I would talk to the founding team maybe every week for half an hour, or every other week for an hour, but that's really it, right? And I try to make sure that I leverage other co-investors and also networks that I've built over the years to help the team out, right? Several of these software companies that I'm invested in, the heads of sales are executives that have worked with me, in the past.
Rajan invests between 15 lakh rupees to 1 crore rupees in startups. And given that he has little time to spare, he restricts his investments to sectors he understands like the back of his hand: software, internet and mobile.
I think what's changed is a couple of things, right? One, in the year 2000, there were 1 million internet users in India. Today, we will end 2012 in a few days with 150 million internet users. Second, the advent of cloud technologies has made it, a lot, it used to require millions of dollars to build a software company, right? Today, for a couple of $100,000, not only can we launch a software company, but we can also get thousands of customers. And I think the third thing is, in the technology area, today we have over 2 million IT professionals working at the large IT services companies, right? And these are young professionals who actually know how to write good software. So as a result, you have the talent, right? So what they have to do is get the courage to go out there and start doing stuff. And I'd say over the last 3 or 4 years, we've started seeing more angels, more VC firms. So the funding ecosystem, my big view is still has a long way to go in India, but is getting better.
Rajan believes there's no dearth of risk capital, and good ideas that instinctively click with investors and consumers will get funding. It was his instinct that made him cold call serial entrepreneur Avlesh Singh in March 2011, who was then developing WebEngage, a product that helps online businesses collect feedback and target sales to customers. In less than 2 years of operations, WebEngage has managed to bag 5,500 clients globally. The marquee names include Make My Trip, Home Shop 18 and Snapdeal. After Rajan's angel investment in 2011, Avlesh raised the seed round from GTI Capital and Bloom Ventures in July 2012 and hopes to close Series A funding in July 2013.
My kid was just born on the same day Rajan called. He gets my number through common friends, and he gives me a call saying that, I'm interested in what you're doing. Tell me a bit more and I would love to meet up. I told him, I'm in the hospital and let's talk tomorrow and let's have a detailed chat. The very next day we had a big phone call. He was pretty much sold on. And then he said, I'm coming to Bombay next week. Let's meet up and see if we can take it on from there. I drove him from his hotel to airport, and I think a 1.5 hour, and we closed the entire deal in that much time.
And what excites me is, it's built by, the company only has 5 engineers, right? Never in the history of India, I think, have we had a startup, 5 engineers, 4,000 business customers, right? And this is a company that will easily have hundreds of thousands of customers, and I think will be very successful.
If WebEngage was about Rajan's belief in the idea, then ETechies was about absolute faith in the entrepreneur to deliver a tough execution play. ETechies, a service provider in the post-warranty tech support and repair market for PCs and tablets, was co-founded by Rohit Chaudhary, an experienced sales executive who Rajan had worked with over the years.
Rohit is very seasoned executive, I think, comes with very, very deep domain expertise in the tech support space. Has managed thousands of people, has led some of the biggest businesses in tech support in the country, and is probably the most driven executive I've known since I moved to India. So this is, and I've tried to get him to join. I tried to get him to join me at Dell. I tried to get him to join me at Microsoft, and then finally he came to me and said, this is after I had left Microsoft. He came to me and said, I want to start this business. I said, great, I want to invest. And his co-founding team has a nice complement of, one of his co-founders is deep in technology, the other co-founder is very good at operations and things like that.
An aggressive salesperson with an eye for detail and strategy is how his investees, Rohit Chaudhary of ETechies and Avlesh Singh of WebEngage, describe Rajan. But they're quick to add, his involvement doesn't border on intrusion.
He really helps, he has a good clout, people trust him. So we had investors who would blindly put money on us because Rajan was, coming on board.
Rajan came on board. Rajan told us, you are a startup, you are probably going to change your business 10 times over. And that is exactly what we did. Just in the second month, we realized that, a certain significant portion of our business we did not even have a clue about. And he said, I'm giving you a free hand. Go out, experiment. This is your money. Hand-holding is not necessarily a hands-on hand-holding, which is what should be protected for entrepreneurs like us from the angel investment community. So if you end up getting an angel rather than an angel investor, I think you are very, very lucky, and so are we.
And for this angel to find those good ideas, he's floated Blue Ocean Ventures, a seed fund based in Sri Lanka. Rajan also participates in various IIT entrepreneurship programs and makes it a point to network extensively within the Indian Angel network.
Rajan Anandan is a fantastic guy, very active in the IN group, but very hyper about everything. He brings huge enthusiasm, and it is infectious.
Eventually, it is the team that I make a decision based on. But even to get to that, I've got to be excited about having the meeting, and it's really it's the idea. And it's also the pitch deck. So it's very important to think through how to pitch the idea, in 5 or 10 slides, so that you're describing the opportunity, you're describing why this is going to be an interesting way to address that opportunity. I almost very rarely invest in a company that doesn't have an alpha product. So if it's a consumer internet company, it's a website. If it's a mobile app, it's the app. If it's a SaaS company, it's the actual SaaS product. Having a beta version of that, because what I try to do is I just go right to the site and I look at the site, and probably within 30 seconds, either I'm going to be very excited or I'm not.
In his 6 years in India, Rajan's invested in over 20 startups, successfully exited some, and he says we might be a while away from a volley of blockbuster exits in the tech space, but we're surely on our way.
Over the next 4 or 5 years, I think we'll have dozens of billion-dollar IPOs coming out of India. That being said, I think one of the concerns that especially the venture capitalists who've been very active for quite some period in India have had is lack of exits. And the only thing I can say is my view is it takes 10 years to build a company, InfoEdge was founded in 1998, so that was 14 years ago. Make My Trip, I think Deep founded the company in the year 2000 or 2001. That's been 11 years. So my view is that, we are in the first, we've just finished the first half day of the test match. So we have a long way to go. We have to finish the first day, then we have to get to the second day, then there'll be a rest day, sometime probably between 2017 and 2018, and then we get into the final leg. So this is, we just started the test match, and we've got the rest of the game to go. Only focus on things you're absolutely passionate about. Invest in passionate technology founders who can build large companies.
On that note, it's time for us to take a break here on India's Angels. On the other side,
Three do's are: why is your business proposition so compelling and how will you sustain? How do you think about building your organization? How will you scale? Are you passionate? Do you really want? How convinced are you?